Austin Powers. So this is this is a series I've been starting called Appreciation Video, where I watch a series of movies or a show or some kind of movie that I just want to express my appreciation for it within the video. Um, I've done a couple of these. Most famously on this channel, I did. Well, I don't know if it's the most famous, but it's the one I enjoy the most. Um, which is the Planet of the Apes tribute video. You can watch some other ones on here. I forget what the other one I recorded is. Probably should have looked at that before I started this video, but I did not, so I don't really care. But let's talk about Austin Powers. Austin Powers is kind of not kind of, it is a James Bond parody. It's a 90s James Bond parody. Um, Now, I am not a James Bond expert. I've not seen every single Sean Connery movie, Roger Moore movie, whatever James Bond movie you can think of. I've not seen them all. I've seen all the Daniel Craig ones, of course, but that's more so because they're the most recent ones and they're the first collection of James Bond movies I bought because the Daniel Craig ones are the only James Bond movies available in their own collection on 4K because they're newer. I just bought the James Bond complete collection, so that appreciation video may come. I don't know. Maybe I will review every single James Bond movie in order after I'm done with Rocky. Probably not, but um, because a lot of these appreciation or a lot of the reviews I've been doing are they're either newer movies or movies that I've I've been doing or I've seen like many times, and so I'm able to express my thoughts more clearly about them because I've seen them so many times and notice things that maybe somebody wouldn't notice if it was their first time. James Bond is great though; it's a classic. As someone who is not a James Bond expert, I am aware of many things from the James Bond series due to just cultural osmosis, where just people will reference it, and I'll be like, oh, I get it from James Bond, just kind of that type of thing. Or you'll see it in other movies where it's become a cliche that you see now in other movies, but then you realize, oh, it came from James Bond, and so But these movies are. Mel Brooks said it best. He's one of the best parody writers of all time. He said it best that a good parody is a movie that you don't, or show, or whatever, song, that you don't have to know the original to understand or find funny. So, aka, he made Spaceballs. Spaceballs does not require you to watch Star Wars to get what movie it's making fun of. And also, you could just laugh at it. Um, and so, this works the same way. I don't know everything about James Bond, but I laugh all the time. First of all, we got comedy legend Mike Myers. Mike Myers is a genius. I love Mike Myers. Shrek, of course, but he's also his Saturday Night Live days, fantastic. He was in Wayne's World, which is a great movie, really funny movie. But he's a great comedic talent. And in these movies, he's really funny. He plays the character really well. And this movie actually plays up the aspects of um, James Bond, the which is that he's a character who's sexy. He's good looking. He's charming. Women love him, and so they kind of play that up, and it's a more goofy, exaggerated version of that, which is hysterical. You got Doctor Evil, who's just a stupid villain, because really, you think about the classic James Bond movies, especially the one he's based on, Doc Blofeld, the one with the scar and the eye and the cap, which he's clearly based on. Um, those characters are really goofy. People have made fun of the fact in media for several years now that in the movies, when a villain sits down with the hero, explains their whole plan, explains what they're gonna do, it's really stupid. And so, having saying, all right, you're right. We'll play around with that and make a really funny joke out of that. And that's really funny. It's really clever. It's really smart. It's ridiculous. And they just play everything up. Now, if this movie series were to come out nowadays, it probably would have a R rating. There'd be lots of swearing, things like that. And, like, this movie is funny without that, the way that, because it requires them to work around so much to get the rating that they get. So when they want to say, show, like, women's thingies, I don't want to say it because I don't want to get demonetized, you can see that they cut away to one thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. They cut. And it makes the joke so elaborate, so clever, because they're forced to work around the rating system, which I think is great. It makes a funnier movie. It's a smarter movie. It's just brilliant. Now, I will say, the second movie is probably the best, because, just the humor in it just is next level brilliant. The first movie is second best. I mean, it's great. The first movie's good, but it's almost like they kind of tone it down just a little bit. The second movie goes, let's not tone it down. Let's go boop, all the way up. And then 3 was just not very good because, well, the humor was weaker, the plot wasn't as good, and then we had Beyonce, who was terrible in the movie. As she is in just about everything she acts in. But yeah, I think it's a great trilogy of movies. They're fun to watch. I love every single one of them. And I'm excited for Austin Powers 4 if that ever happens. I know they've announced it, but I don't know if it's going to happen. If it does, cool. I will watch it definitely, but I don't know if I'm going to be, I don't know, but yeah, just a great trilogy, and I just wanted to show my appreciation for this amazing trilogy of movies. And I love the slipcover. I love the covers of these movies. The very 60s, kind of 70s vibe. I really love that. So,